What's going on, people? Welcome to United View and welcome to your latest dose of Manchester United news. Would normally be a full view. It would normally be a full view, but there's so much news this evening. We went Minna, see you later. KG, see you later. Kenny, see you later. We need to just bring in Marcel. We got stuff to talk about. We don't need you guys, yeah?
We need rational view. That's what we need. So we brought in Marcel, and that's what we're getting this evening.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's what's we've relegated all of them. I'm only joking. A lot of people got a lot of commitments tonight. But there's a lot of, so big up to everyone who's normally on the full view, of course. I can see Minna in the chat. Someone says no Kenny. I know KG's just being KG. He's off doing what he needs to be doing. But big up to everyone. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Get those likes up. Let's do that. Let's get those likes up. We're going to be talking about Min-jae.
We had a struggle with the likes this morning, Fleck. It must be said. We had to. It was tough, wasn't it, Marcel?
Yeah,
it was difficult.
It was a long day.
Yeah, honestly. But hopefully we can do better in the evening. Everyone's gone to work or had the day to do what they're doing. You're in a better mood. It's not the morning. Just chilled out now, ready to hopefully watch the Liverpool drop some points later on. Yeah, okay. So don't worry about that. But it's a jam-packed show, to be honest with you. Min-jae's first summer transfer potentially. Sabitzer's season is over. We're going to be talking about Alexis McAllister, David Raya. It's all in this show as well. So yes, very, very interesting. Owen, let's start right at the top. Min-jae United summer transfer. There's been a lot on this today.
Yes.
What's happening?
First of all, shout out United View Scout, because this
is that the person who said it. That's all that time ago.
Since day dot. And I said, if you're still watching, you reach out to me, remind me of your name, and we'll never forget it, because United View Scout, and I think they've gone for a variety of different names on their profile, have been saying since before Min-jae was even at Napoli, United need to sign Min-jae, and we might be on the precipice of it happening now, according to reports. This isn't the first report linking United to Min-jae, must be said, but it's quite interesting because a report came out today from an outlet based in Naples named Il Mattino, which by all accounts is like the biggest, I don't know, outlet in Naples, biggest paper in Naples, whatever, saying they're going pretty strong, saying Min-jae has decided to join Manchester United. It's only a matter of details. Now, the reason why I guess they're so strong on this is because, as I mentioned, other reports have come out in the last week or so saying that United have put together a strong proposal for the defender. Now, also, it must be said, there's a release clause involved here, and there's a release clause over a 2-week period. So it's from July 1st to July 15th. And the report is that the defender's release clause is set around 50 million euros, which is 43 million pounds. So according to these reports, guys, Min-jae, the details are getting done, and it could be a deal that gets done, I guess, in that period of time between July 1st and July 15th. Marcel, what do you think of that one?
Good news. Good news, very good news. I mean, Min-jae is a top player. He's been really good at Napoli this season, and I think we need a centre back. We're in a once we get rid of the likes of Phil Jones, Tuanzebe, Maguire, you're looking at replacing Bailly as well. You're looking at replacing these players with somebody that's got the caliber needed. I think Min-jae can play both left-sided centre back and right-sided centre back as well, even though he's right-footed. So it can replace Martinez. We need someone to come in for Martinez. Luke Shaw's obviously been really good as a centre-back. And I think next season you could utilise Luke Shaw as a centre-back. But having Min-jae in there, what Champions League experience, something that we're going to need as well. So I'm happy.
You're a little bit out of sync on my screen. I don't know what... Oh, it's moving crazy.
I'm seeing it as well, yeah.
Am I lagging badly?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Kung Fu view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me a second, guys. Give me a second.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna go and reboot. But Min-jae, do you know what? Exactly. I like that. Min-jae, I'm not going to profess to have seen like loads and loads of him. When I've watched Napoli to keep an eye on like Osimhen and what they're doing because they're playing really well, he looks good. I've seen him in person. How many times did I watch Republic of Korea? 2 or 3, maybe twice in the World Cup. Maybe 3, but I saw him a couple of times. But I watched the game actually where Son dragged them through actually when they didn't think, and they scored in the last minute against. Who was that against? Someone will put it in the chat of who they came back. Ghana. I think it was Ghana. Yeah, I was there anyway, and he played he played well in a couple of games that I saw him, but I need to see a bit more. So I'm not gonna come on here and be like, oh, he's exactly what we've needed. I know he's highly tipped. I know he's highly rated. I know something like you said about that account. He's been onto him for a while. I know that, or was it Portugal? Was it? Oh, right. I know that, Koulibaly left there and he replaced him, and they've gone on to win the league. He's played enough every game. So I know he's very highly sought after and he's got pedigree. I do know that. But in terms of he's really good at this aspect of his game, he's really good at that, I'm not going to go into that because my sample size isn't high enough. I saw him like 90 minutes in the World Cup and a couple of times for Napoli, like when I've watched him in Champions League and that. But I think it goes to what Marcel does say. I 100% agree with in terms of once we start clearing out those centre backs that he mentioned, we need proper quality. We need players that can come in and the drop off's not high. You know what I mean? If any, he might even be able to come and start over Varane, and Varane's the one who comes in and out because his knees are dodgy, and that's my favourite guy. No favourites FC here. The ghost, the wraith, the phantom. I want him at all costs, all the time. But if he's not up to it and he needs a rest and stuff like that, Will Chan says Kim Min-jae is a solid Audi R5 estate as well. It's extra elongated. You've got the extra room. Not a Rolls Royce, but listen, it's a good German car, Audis, mate. They don't break down often. They're solid. Do you know what I mean? Some may say more reliables than Rolls Royces. That's, Audi, it's a more prestigious car, Rolls Royce, but what's more reliable day to day? Who knows? But I listen, it would be a good sign in terms of what we're looking for, it seems like. But it'd be interesting to see if we've done. What would be interesting is to see if we could execute something like this, because they're saying he's chosen to do it. Like,
exactly what I was going to say. This is exactly
you know what? Take it away, Owen. You have that point.
Yeah, well, no, my thing is, I don't want to sort of pee on the bonfire, right? Try to clean up my language here. But it's not very United-ish to have a deal done
locked
almost
and loaded
in principle by May, when we know that the release clause is a 2-week period from the beginning of July to halfway through July. That's just very un-United-like. And that's un-United-like when we know who our owners are going to be, let alone when there is so much uncertainty surrounding the future of United, what the budget is going to be in the summer. I mean, there's been rumours of £100 million, but that's going towards a striker. So to have, and the release clause once again is 43 million quid, reportedly, just to be like, oh yeah, it's basically all done. I don't know. I'm just not sure about that. And what Flex has got on the screen right there when it comes to Avram Glazer, Marcel's all over the place. Marcel.
He weren't like this this morning, was he?
No, he was on.
I'm going to mute him until he comes back because he probably doesn't even know his things not unmute, just to protect himself from himself.
He's back. There he is.
Oh,
I'm back. I'm hoping it works.
And now he's back in sync. Now he's back in sync. You know what he's done? He switched to another camera that he knew was a risk at the start of this, and now he's realised. You're technology level of KG, Marcel, honestly. But yes, with the Avram Glazer thing, there is some pictures going around on social media at the moment, which is Avram Glazer has been spotted outside of a hotel in Mayfair in London that's owned by Sheikh Jassim's father amid all of this takeover rumors. Now, a lot of people are going, what? Mr. Flappy Ponytail, he's outside of a hotel owned by the father of the person that's bidding for United. It's basically done. That's what people are saying, right? Pump the brakes a little bit, it must be said, because in the same article from the Mirror, which is an exclusive by the Mirror, they still say they understand that in terms of this takeover race, it's a race that Sheikh Jassim is going to lose. At the same time, look, nobody really knows because another report came out the other day saying he was in the dark. This could be something, it could be nothing, it just could be a hotel that he likes staying at, to be honest. He's been in London at Wembley for the Women's FA Cup final. United used to have a London office in Mayfair, so it might just be a hotel that he likes when he's in Mayfair. They have moved their London offices from Mayfair to Kensington, it must be said, but still, it could be something, it could be nothing. Most likely, it might be nothing. But you never know. You can hope, right?
You can hope. You never say. You never know. There could be a dramatic turn of events that we don't know about yet. You never know. You know what I mean? Never know. Could be some source. Some people might know. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, to the Kim Min-jae thing, I agree. Like, considering we've got so much uncertainty, if we could secure a deal, and this is if, because we don't know yet. This is speculation. This is in the media that he's chosen us. If we could, it's very unlike us to be this prepared, this early. The guy's going to sign already. He's just waiting. It's just a formality for waiting for the window to open, and then he's going to be the first through the door. If that happens, I will be stunned to the point where if it did happen, you have to look at Erik ten Hag and the planning, and the people who execute the deals. John Murtough and John Murtough, really. I know Richard Arnold is there, but if John Murtough gets Kim Min-jae through the door before the window's even open, that would be a big sign of like, well, that's. Do you know what it would be? I wouldn't even say, because we don't know what's happening with the ownership and where we're going to be. I'm not going to say it's a big sign that we're on the way up and wow, that's really. I'll be like, well, oh, I didn't expect that. Wow, what's going on here? It would be more of a surprise because you can't nail it down and say that means we're now going to do this. This is all Erik ten Hag because he's so ready for it. He's been proactive. He's ready, which I know he's doing all his due diligence. But in terms of execution, that's not normally our forte. Marcel, what say you?
We're starting to embark on the right kind of decision making. That was what we've been doing wrong for the last 10 years or so. But if John Murtough right now gets a player in before that preseason starts, top quality Champions League player in Kim Min-jae, who I think is fantastic, can play both sides centre back. That's a good start. That's a really good start.
Absolutely.
For the summer window. And I think we need to give them credit where it's true, you know, and if they can do that early, start the business early, I think you can start on that process, Owen. You definitely can start on that process to get quality players through the door and early. Because all the business they've done so far has been good.
But he won't come in before pre-season, will he?
The player profiles, anyway.
Yeah, but he won't come in before pre-season because obviously his release clause is from the 1st to the 15th. So either way, he's coming in July. And pre-season by that point, I mean, I don't know when the tour starts. That's getting close to tour time, isn't it?
The tour starts on the 22nd of July, but there's games probably before that.
So you're looking at a situation where he has to be through mate.
I imagine. I don't know, but if there might be.
Yeah. Good you are, aren't you?
22nd of July will be in America. I was going to say Jamaica then. 22nd of July will be in America. So it can be there.
Yes. But the point being is that if you want to get him in for tour, then you are going to have to do all of the other parts of this deal now, realistically, aren't you? And maybe that's what they're conscious of is that, look, we can't do that deal in 2 weeks. His release clause is a 2-week period. So like a lot of deals are really done backwards nowadays, aren't they? You agree the player terms and you agree all of those things, and then you submit the offer once you feel like everything else is sorted. So maybe that's what the feeling is. Maybe they're just United are doing the due diligence on the player side first, getting all of those I's dotted, those T's crossed. So when it comes to that period, July 1st, they can just be like triggered, and then he can come over. As far as his quality, I'm with you, Flex. I mean, I haven't watched a ton of games. I can't say that I'm a Kim Min-jae expert like the United View scout seemingly is, but you could argue where does the money come from? If you're going to sell Harry Maguire for maybe 40, 35, suddenly that 43 million release clause
ain't that deep. Really, you could do it like for like in value. If his release clause is that low, Maguire can fetch that 43 million easily.
What, Maguire 43 million?
Yeah.
40's a push for me.
It's the upper end of what he can go for.
Yeah, 45 mil.
Yeah,
am I still
Really
bad.
Yeah. You're about half an hour late at the minute.
He's
just giving up. Marcel just turned to the left, turned to the right, and he's just like, I can't do this anymore. And now he's just frozen it together. Yeah, it's moving, Matt. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, Marcel, man.
Warsao's in the chat, obviously. After that, you've got to have the Warsao's.
That guy. Before we get back to that, there's 6 super chats that we need to get read out. Big up to you guys. Get your super chats in, members chats, obviously. Subscribe, get involved as well. We'll get some regular chats read out as well. Truth Engraved says, don't Don't you think this transfer window feels different? It hasn't even started yet. That's what I mean. I don't know. It hasn't even started yet. Truth engraved. It hasn't. I know you're asking the question. Do you think it feels different? I don't know yet. If we get Kim Min-jae through the door and United announce it that awaiting the opening of the transfer window, Kim Min-jae.
But they would never do that. They would never do that. They couldn't. Exactly. They couldn't be like, we're going to sign Kim Min-jae, but we're waiting to trigger the release clause on July 1st. That's agreed in principle.
Oh no, but it's because agreed in principle. Yeah, so
technically
agreed in principle.
Yeah, but technically a transfer deal. It's a bit like the Haaland thing last season, isn't it? Everyone knew Erling Haaland was going to Man City, but they couldn't announce it until like the actual release clause goes into effect.
Yeah. Well, okay, then if we get like a here we go from Romano and David Ornstein says it's all been agreed, they're just waiting for. If that happens, then exactly. I will say it feels different. But I can't say that.
Would you say that phrase? It feels different. That's a loaded phrase here on this channel. Yeah, that is a phrase.
Okay, here's the term I would use. That's a surprising start.
Okay,
that's what I would say. That's what I would say. United view scouts who deserves his or her flowers. I waited 2 to 3 years since Flex on United stand for this YouTube title. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even think Kim Min-jae was a real person.
We had to do Google searches.
Yeah, because I thought, you don't know if people are being silly on the net or whatever. I don't want to be disrespectful or rude. So I thought before I even go down that route, let me even see. David says, shout out UV fam, first time catching a show, a member as a member. Big up to you, David. Thank you for coming through. Welcome to the live show. United View Scout says Flex would skip my super chats on Kim Min-jae because he thought I was trying to troll him. Because when he typed him in Google, a Korean actor singer would pop up. Really? I didn't even know if that even happened as well. That's probably is that the reason why I thought he was fake then?
I don't know. I just think
I can't remember.
It was so off center. I think it was just like so out of nowhere that everyone was like, where is this come from? Or where is this?
Why is this a thing?
But that's what Scout does.
Exactly. Santiago Barrientos says, remember all the changes in the organization happened in the spring of last year. If and only if these deals happen early, then they deserve some accolades. Yeah, I think obviously with the track record and where we've been giving the people who make decisions accolades, Richard Arnold, John Murtough, etc. Obviously Ed Woodward's gone now, Matt Judge gone now. It's that's on the back burner, isn't it?
True, actually, the Matt Judge thing's interesting because remember, whilst he was going, he was still around for a while after his resignation was announced, and they did say
like Woodward,
to a point last year he was still involved, wasn't he? So this could be really the first proper summer transfer window where he has no influence whatsoever. But at the same time, if you're people like Richard Arnold and John Murtough as well, like they're doing all of this business knowing that any takeover that happens, whether it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe or whether it's Sheikh Jassim, they most likely will be replaced by whoever comes in. They're going to bring in their own CEO. Exactly. They're going to bring in their own football director, most likely.
You think so? Yeah.
That's got to be a challenging thing to kind of think about at the same time. Going, I'm doing this work, or maybe it's a case of I've got to do such a good job.
Yeah,
that I keep my job. You know what I mean?
Well, yesterday outside Wembley, saw Marcel was off playing football with some kids, just doing keep.
Well, and also, did you hear that Marcel ripped his trousers yesterday at Wembley?
Oh, for God's sake! No, I didn't hear this.
No, I'll tell you the story about that afterwards.
Okay, Marcel, honestly, and I saw John Murtough, and I was with some guys who they recognised us from the channel. They were talking, and I just shouted, I was like, John, get us the players, John, get us Harry Kane. You guys might say that's a disgrace and cheat because you want Osimhen instead, but I said it all. I said, Kane, Osimhen, I said, the players we need, John. You know what he did? He had his briefcase in his hand. He turned around and he was laughing, got his briefcase up, and he was like that. I swear to you, he went like that. Like to say, oh, I got to pay. I'm working on it, Fleck. I'm working on it, United. I'm working on it. Probably lip service, but he turned around and gave us a smile, and he wasn't miserable. We've read that one already. Big up David T says, happy Eric with the Kim Min-jae. Eric Ten Hag type player. And did Park have a say? Yeah, it could be one of them ones where if he does sign, obviously someone will say to him, Park's great. Did you ever speak to him, etc. as a fellow Korean. United View Scout says, to be honest, I have zero faith in our ability to do business, and Kim Min-jae may slip through the massive cracks like Haaland did. Yeah.
Well, that's certainly something to consider. Look, the release course isn't just for United. So
yes, exactly.
Other people will be doing their due diligence as well. That's important to say
too. Nathaniel says, Kim Min-jae, we get some of the regular chats out as well. Again, everyone can be heard. We try and get as many comments out. We want you guys to be involved as much as possible. You don't have to be a member to be heard. You don't have to be putting in super chats to be heard. Everyone can be heard. It is hard. We've got a lot of messages, but we always try to get all the comments out. Nathaniel says, Kim Min-jae would be a fantastic signing, a no-brainer signing, which is why I have no faith in the club to sign him. Minna says, Flex, is that before or after you stroked Avram Glazer's ponytail? Minna, don't spread lies. You're the one that was in the presser, not me.
There's also a members chat here from Amanor, who's been a member for 4 months. Appreciate 4 months of support. Says, please consider hosting a stream session where members can interact. KG did it on his channel, and I was amazed by it. FYI, KG is a disgrace. We do that, Amanor. We have done that now. Live Q&As. So if you're part of the UB members, it's just one of several perks. Obviously, you can have those live Q&As, and also you can call in to the full-time view. It's the latest kind of development when it comes to the UB members club.
Yes, just a quick one for Herb. I'm sure all the community will join us in saying this. Herb says, lost my 38-year-old cousin last week. This community has kept my mind off things here and there. Sorry for your loss, man. Sorry for your loss. And, I hope you're doing all right, but really glad that, you're finding some kind of like happiness here and stuff like that to take your mind off things. It's important. I'm sure we've all been there where we've lost people and stuff like that. And actually, as serious as it is and as sad as it is, sometimes getting your mind off it, even if it's for half an hour or an hour like these shows are, or 45 minutes, 10 minutes, doesn't matter. Sometimes it really helps. So big up to you, Herb. 1, 2, 3, Herb, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your family as well. So yeah, and you're always welcome here. I'm glad you're finding some happiness here, man. David T says, sorry guys, I've trolled so much, YouTube stopped me from changing my name for the next 12 days. So sorry for making you read that long name. I only ever say David T because of
me too.
Yeah. Big up Elijah Woods. Actually, I've seen that name quite a few times before. Elijah Woods, that rings a bell. Big up UV. First time in the UK from Texas this past week. Experienced my first United game at Old Trafford. There's nothing like it. All I can say is wow in capital letters. I love that. We get to go to Old Trafford, or a lot of us on the channel do. And if I speak on my own person, I get to go to Old Trafford every single week, without fail. And then us as fans, we talk about the stadium obviously needs major surgery and there's no screens and it's leaking. But I will still say, seeing that international fans get to go to OT and experience for the first time, it still is breathtaking.
Everyone remembers their first time. There's several stages of the first time you go to Old Trafford. The first moment is when you finally see it on the horizon. Right, when you start to actually, and it just feels like it appears out of nowhere. When you see it, you go, "Oh my god, it's huge!" And then you get there, and then when you're walking up through, you go in the turnstiles, and you're walking up through the stadium, and you go for the concrete steps, and it's quite sort of dark and all that kind of stuff. And you think, "Oh," and then once you actually get up from the steps, and you just see the sort of greenery of the pitch, like
it's wicked
in front of you, it kind of does. And even to be honest, even if you've been a million times, it always takes your breath away. You always go.
It does actually, and you know what? When it's really like I said on Saturday, just gone, because it was hot and just sunny and really bright. I walked in, you get to just wear. I know this might sound really like not a big deal, but it is because it's always so cold. Just being able to go to the game in just a t-shirt and be getting cooked in the sun.
That's why
it just felt great. Like
first game of the season. First game of the season is always
first
like that,
isn't
it? When you first and last. First game of the season, when you open up, you've got a season full of possibilities, and they're playing the music, and you're waiting for the new signings. You're like, oh, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for this today.
Playing exactly the long sleeve Nike Pro tops, or even Sanchez got to get rid of that. You've got to go short sleeve. It's hot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it's
exactly.
So that is good. Aminor says, Owen, will Kim Min-jae be a replacement for Varane?
I think he'd most likely be a replacement for Maguire in terms of people. But look, he's played, I think, It's 30+ games for Napoli this season. You could argue he's maybe a more consistently available player than Varane is. And we're going to be in several competitions next year. Still young as well. But again, I can't profess that I've watched a million Kim Min-jae games. So I'm not totally certain of what style of player he is.
Yes, exactly. Smash the like video. We're just under 1,000 people watching live. Likes wise, where are we at?
We're to a point where it's made you choke because you're shocked. Yes, because we're nearly at 1,000. It's 205. It's 205. Yeah.
Come on, guys. There's 1,000 of you watching. At least half of you got to hit the like button. At minimum, we've got to get to 500 likes. You guys can do it. Come on, you guys can do it. We've just spoke about what a great community this is. So yeah, smash a like. If you're new to it as well, smash a like. And if you're always here and you've forgotten to smash a like, smash a like. Sabitzer out for the remainder of the season.
Yes, so this was a story that, to be honest, came a little bit out of nowhere this afternoon. We know that he's been out of action for the last couple of games with a knee problem, but United did officially announce this afternoon that Marcel Sabitzer has suffered a meniscal injury, which will unfortunately rule him out for the remainder of the season. Now, obviously, this puts questions out there as to what is his future then with Manchester United. According to Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail, there is yet to be a decision on if Marcel Sabitzer will be signed by Manchester United on a permanent basis once his loan contract expires. He has been ruled out, as I mentioned, for the remainder of the season due to injury. Rob Dawson has said that Bayern Munich and Manchester United are in touch about the rehabilitation of Marcel Sabitzer. Fabrizio Romano has also weighed in, saying, a bit like everyone else, that United have not made a decision yet on Marcel Sabitzer's future. Discussions with Bayern will take place in the next few weeks. Sabitzer would love to stay. There's no doubts about that, but he is going to be missing the remainder of the season. So the question is, Flex, Marcel Sabitzer, should he stay or not? Yes or no to Sabitzer, if it was up to you?
I'm going to say no now. And that is and that is me having to hold my hands up, actually, because when I was away in January, wasn't I, when we signed him? And I remember doing a video. Doing a video. And I said, he's exactly what we need in terms of like squad backup, squad depth. He can play a bit. And I said, I'll sign him permanently already. I think I said something stupid like that after like one game. I did say it. I did. And I know I said it. And I just, again, it's so hard to not be reactionary in what we do. Because part of the fun of it and is the feeling, is the emotion. Nobody wants like this measured, like too measured, where you just never want to say anything in case it comes. Everything you say is on the internet. So it is what it is. But new evidence, innit? New evidence arrives. But actually, it's my own fault because I made that assumption based off no evidence yet. So I need to get better at that. But no, I think with that last injury, I just think he's done okay. I think he's an okay player. I think we need better. And I know the easy thing to do is to go, is he better than Fred? Is he better than McTominay? If yes, then we'll have him. Well, it depends at what at. Because if you ask Fred to, man mark Kevin De Bruyne and get about the pitch and change the game a little bit, Fred can do that. He can get about. Marcel Sabitzer wants to play at the top end of the pitch, wants to, be in the final third, and different types of players. So, and is he great technically? Like, does he want the ball at the feet and get on the turn and help us keep control of the game? No, and I want central midfielders that can do that. He could be useful. Like, I'm not saying like he's dead, but because it's literally a loan and we've got the choice to like get a different profile and just send him back. And now he's injured again as well. He's had a couple of injuries since he's been here, actually, to be fair to him. So I like him as a decent player, but I think we can go out and get a better profile.
Yeah, for me, I said at the time that I was really happy when we signed him in January because obviously we weren't expecting to get anyone, and Eriksen got injured. And as last day loan signings go, Sabitzer from Bayern Munich, that ain't bad.
It can do, exactly.
And he's done an okay job. I was kind of, and I mentioned this to you a few times, that he'd come on when he first got to United, he'd come on a few times, and I'd go on Twitter afterwards. People be raving about him, going, as cameos go, this guy's great. And I went, well, maybe I'm watching a different game here, because I thought
it was the final when he came on in the final. Remember, he made a couple of tackles.
I remember sort of going, I think he did okay, but I wasn't blown away. And sort of people were like, this is what happens when you sign a proper, midfielder. I think he's been okay. He's been fine. But the narrative that's kind of out there of, well, he's fairly cheap to get and he's better than we've got, therefore we should get him, I don't really buy into, because I feel like that's kind of setting our standards somewhat lowish and sort of settling in that situation. And to your point, he has been injury prone, and we all said, didn't we, it's going to be really interesting when Eriksen gets back fully fit, what that looks like with Eriksen, Casemiro bringing on Sabitzer. And we saw it a couple of times, and it was just kind of the same, really. It was kind of the
whole team has kind of been a bit meh. It's not just
it's not just him.
Eriksen, since he's even come back from injury, has been a bit meh.
Yeah,
Casemiro, since he's come back from suspension, has been a bit meh. So it's not just on Sabitzer, but he's the talk of this because he's the freebie who we can send back and just cut ties and just go in a different direction. And
and in a summer where every penny counts, when they're saying sort of 20, 25 million, nowadays in football, that's not that much. But at the same time, every penny does count. And it might be like, if we spend that on him, we then miss out on someone because we don't really have. If we had 200 million like last summer, then you'd probably say, well, yeah, because it's only a tenth of your budget. It's nothing. It's not too much of a problem. But we don't know. Again, we don't. Look, every time we bring up Donny, I get accused of the Donny van der Gender. I've accepted that I think Donny's not going to leave in the summer, Flex, because he's still coming back from the injury, isn't he?
He might get loaned out.
I think that's probably the best move for him. He needs to do something. Like, I think his United career is hanging by a thread. I do. I've been saying this for a while.
Just to actually, just to reset his whole. Since he's left Ajax, it's been an absolute nightmare, hasn't it? Really, for him.
Yeah.
It's been three years now. Is it 3 years? It's
3
COVID
years,
season we got him, innit?
COVID season, and I know people, are going to say
COVID summer.
He hasn't had a run of games, and some of the excuses for him have been kind of wild. He's not surrounded by the best players. It's not the right manager. His manager came in and won a lot of difference. And he didn't have a run of games, but every time he has played, I haven't seen anything. It's
easy to forget that he plays for us, and that's not a disrespectful thing because obviously he had a season-ending injury. Went on loan to Everton last year, had a season-ending injury, pretty much, didn't he? He got injured, couldn't play. Like, comes back to us, doesn't. It's just.
But even prior to those injuries, he'd play.
Just reset.
He'd play. He'd play, and you go, "How did Donny do today?" And you go, "Did he play?" You go, "I don't," and you just. I don't know. Like you said, maybe go and Ajax 100%. You talk to the We Talk Ajax guys; they'd have him back in a heartbeat. They really would, and that would be the best move for him. But it just hasn't worked out. And at United, at this stage, particularly in our development and in the last few years, you can't afford to have passengers that drift through games. I mean, people like Jadon Sancho get criticised for it, and deservedly so, by the way. But you can't. And then also, if you're saying he's a 10, there's a 10 at United that plays near enough every game. And you've really got to affect the game to get ahead of him because that's Bruno. You've got to be doing that kind of level of affecting the game. And Donny doesn't do that, honestly. So, but the thing is, because of his injury, I don't know if he goes in the summer, honestly.
Lux Hill says loan him to Ajax.
If he's available for a transfer, then I think he should go. Yeah. Honestly.
The problem is I don't see, if I'm being honest, I don't see what a loan does. For us. It can give him if he can go back and be comfortable and get his career back on track. It does that for him, but we are in this period where we do have to be ruthless. Donny's been here for 3 years and it just hasn't worked out, and that's okay. No. Sometimes things just don't work out. We got him for what we thought was a big bargain as well because he was so close to going to Real Madrid. So when we got Donny for like 35 million, well, I tell you what, that's really good business. It didn't work out. No. Let's stop doing that thing that we do at Man United of holding on.
Maybe this season. Maybe this time's the time.
Maybe now. I mean, you could argue that Luke Shaw's been the opposite of that, of holding on, and then he's finally now in his prime, 27, 28. Now he is actually it, but we got him at so young. It's like we were waiting. Donny, I don't get that vibe. I don't think we can afford to do that now. We hung on with Shaw through a different period. In this period, we've really got to be ruthless. We really do. So, like you said, if it's a transfer and he's available for the transfer, just get the money. Just get the 25 million.
Especially when you need it. Especially, again, we're talking about every penny counts. You know, if it's, I'm not sure. No, you know.
Yeah.
No problem.
Exactly. Let me go into our super chats some more.
By the way, Flex, this is just kind of breaking in the last couple of minutes. Ben Jacobs has tweeted regarding Avram Glazer being at that hotel owned by Sheikh Jassim's father. And he has said, understand Avram Glazer being at Claridge's is a red herring. Important verbal back and forth with both 9-2 Foundation and Sir Jim Ratcliffe expected this week. Both parties are now talking to the Rain Group. So essentially, he's saying, don't read too much into it. But this week, Rain are going to speak to both parties because they were going to talk to him anyway.
There you go. So not really much news on that. More of a coincidence, according to
exciting.
Jacobs,
it's exciting when you see it.
because it just ramps it up. What's he doing there? How comes all this? He's got what? Come on, he's got to be talking to someone though. Surely, like we can draw all of those opinion-based things, which everyone's entitled to do because this is
there's
the,
more.
There's more.
As is anything with Ben Jacobs, there's always a thread involved.
I know.
He said, should Qatar increase their final offer? It is not expected to be disclosed. Talks are more fluid and the formal offer deadlines are gone. 9-2 Foundation remain confident they are not out of the race. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is cautiously optimistic, but until preferred bidder is named and with neither group in an exclusive period, there is plenty of competitive tension. Ratcliffe's latest contact with Rain was over the technical details surrounding his final offer. Rain were effectively asking questions and that communication should not be misconstrued as a negotiation as of now. That will obviously change if Ineos is the preferred bidder. So really, Flex, really, no news.
Yeah. Can I drop this one in then?
Go on.
I know the news was the news. The news was newsing when we did that show, when we felt quite down.
Yeah.
About that. And actually, me and Owen took a little bit of criticism for that show. Which is okay, UV community. That's what this is about on Twitter as well. Some of you guys got involved. And someone said to me, Flex, I don't think you should have basically acted in that way. Like it was all doom and gloom and we don't know yet. And, you know, it was a little bit of a scaremongering thing, that's never been my intention, our intention. That never will be our intention. Maybe me and Owen could have been a bit too emotional in that show. In hindsight, could we say that? I mean, this is good. This
was something I mentioned yesterday when I was doing the stream last night, late night view, and I was talking about the article that came out from the Mail on Sunday, which was essentially what Ben Jacobs is saying here, which both sides still in the dark. They haven't heard that much from Rain or the Glazers. They're expecting to this coming week, but their feeling was that with all of these reports suggesting that Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos were the front runner, they felt it was a bit of a bigger play to kind of, drive the price up once again. And as Ben Jacobs is saying, there's still bids that could be made, sort of thing. And I said at the time that those people that were telling us that day, don't fall for it. Nobody really knows what's going on. Take a step back, remain calm, because until there's a press release out there or until the statement pops up on the United website or whatever it may be, no one really knows anything. And I said yesterday, those people really, they were proved to be right. They were right. Yeah. Like no one knows.
I think in hindsight, I think even if it ends up being Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's not even a case of, see, we were right then. I don't care about that. No. It's not about that. Maybe I think in hindsight, we were a little bit like, really emotionally involved in it being a bad thing and it's probably going to happen and this is looking crap now. Do you know what I mean?
But it's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
It is tough
when you've got fans. Well, not just that. When you've got several people who have been involved in this the whole way, like Mike Keegan, like Ben Jacobs, like Sky News, and it was Sky also said it, and they said Ineos is the front runner. And when you hear that, you go, well, they're people that would know, surely, wouldn't they? So you react to it. But maybe the thing to learn throughout all of this is that they don't know. Nobody knows. So it's all right to push back a little bit to say, no, I don't believe that.
It's like all Elite says, these reporters just need to sit down and stay humble. They know nothing. Nobody really knows. So one of the comments was yesterday that, these journalists are being played. And I said, I don't think they particularly care if they are, because for them, It's
it's
like a transfer saga.
Exactly.
Follow me through this Frankie de Jong thing for 6 weeks.
Exactly.
My numbers are going to go up and everything else, etc.
Exactly. So it's from the point of view of the fans to determine, I guess, what ride they want to go on, or what point they want to tap out and go, you know what, I'm waiting for it to actually be confirmed. I'm off this ride now. Yeah. I'm off it anymore. And that's tough. That's tough to do. And you're right. Maybe we did overreact to that. It's like the transfer thing last year, wasn't it? I remember in the transfer window, there was a point when there for a while, me and you were going, we're not overreacting because there's still plenty of time for it to get done. And then they did get a point. And then they did get a point where we went, oh, you know what? Maybe this is taking
we said
a
sorry.
long time.
We said sorry. I remember that.
And it's kind of this.
It's late now.
And it's kind of the same, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. I think the key is to just be open to things like that happening, and when it does, just be like, listen, got that wrong, or maybe that was a bit. What I can't stand is people who are no, F off, no, like that's me, like no, like I think you need to be open to like new information or new perspectives or new opinions, or that's just as a person.
Given this epiphany, then are you then now feeling a little bit more optimistic about the process?
I think. Do you know what? That's probably the wrong word, optimistic. I would like to use that word because I want to get the final outcome that I want and that I know a lot of other people want, which is the Qatar bid. But I think the word is probably just more not neutral, balanced, chilled, like just see what will happen vibe. I can't think of the word that I mean, because neutral makes it sound like I don't really care who gets it. I don't mean that.
Because obviously we all care, but maybe it's slightly fatigued of it, really. You know, can we just go one direction or the other, please? You know, but the problem is that it's difficult to do that when the people actually facilitating this haven't gone one direction or the other.
Like maybe says, it's that.
Maybe it's that. I mean, and again, I think. But it's funny it's taken this point to get there, especially when, again, we've had instances where bids have got in. I myself have done a stream that lasted over 90 minutes to only press end stream and then be like, those bids didn't go in. That should be the clue that actually nobody knows what's going on, really. They don't.
Yeah.
And
big up,
we have to remember that.
Big up Love. He says, I love when Flex mimics us fans and goes, oh, no, in a certain voice. We don't talk like that, Flex. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a default kind of thing. We've got fans from all around the world. They definitely don't talk like, oh, no. Just not. It's just, I don't know. I just find it funny. It's just how I react to it. I don't know. Super chats. Elijah Woods is the latest member of the UV Members Club as well. Big up to you. Aminor says, oh yeah, we did that one already. Santiago says, for 20 million, get me Santi Jimenez from Feyenoord. He's a striker. Josh Waring says, I get why people don't want to keep Sabitzer, but he is miles ahead of McTominay and Fred. I would rather him as a quality bench option. Look at City. Yeah. Again, can he come on and change a game? I don't know. But I see what you're saying. But again, no, I think we need to be careful, like what Owen said, of just going, if they're better than McTominay and Fred, I'll have them on the bench. Because we need better than that as well. We need a really high level. But I get what you're saying, though, Josh. I get where you're coming from, bro. Tywin Lannister says, however, big question remains, do we have what it takes to keep Phil Jones at the club? I mean, surely that's got to be it for
He's getting released, isn't it? It was Samuel Lucas today said Jones and Twan Zeebe both getting released at the end of the season. So,
it's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah. David T says they sign an NDA before these types of deals, so anything coming out of the news is either PR or speculation. You weren't wrong to feel like you did. That is the super chats done. Problem is the Glazers get to decide. Yeah, War Price Casada. We need to. Oh, right. Yeah, I see that. Read that one already. Okay, that's fine. Yes. How many likes are we at now?
We are currently at 377. So we're not far off 500. We can get to 500, certainly.
Yes, exactly.
I also want to. I don't think you saw this morning. There's 2 clips loaded into StreamYard. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that Marcel's not. It's not you. No, there's the same from this morning, but I want to get your reaction to them as well, because I don't even know if you've actually seen all of them. There's two. There's one, which is, they're both from episodes of UV Raw. If you're part of the members club, you can go and see this episode titled Marcel Madness. It's one of the best things ever. First is car spray. Now, Marcel is explaining to Josh why he bought a big can of car spray to freshen up his hotel room. And I'm really taken aback by just the sheer size of the spray in question here.
I've got one of them in my car. It's massive, is it?
Have you got? A car spray. Well, I put it in the hotel.
Why?
In the hotel, innit? To make the hotel smell nice. I was in travel lodge this time, man, so...
But why didn't you just get air freshener?
It was what I had with me in my room.
Have you got a car?
Does it smell nice?
Have you got a car?
No.
So why have you got car freshener?
Because it's nice. Okay, yeah. Well, it's nice. It smells nice. yeah.
I can't even smell it. Look, spray it. Look how big the spray is. What the fuck is that? It's sitting in the car.
Smell it, bro. Don't say that don't smell nice. At least give me that credit. All right. That's it. Yeah, you can laugh at me now.
Wait, if I ever see you and I smell that, fam.
Honestly.
That came out like a bloody foghorn thing.
I thought Edge was about to come out in the restaurant.
Yeah.
You think you know me?
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, Marcel, man. Why is he?
No,
to make the room smell nice.
Of course.
Have you got a car? No.
And I wouldn't. No, I will do the same thing as well. If we get to 500 likes, which we are less than 100 away, we'll play the Watermelon Saga. Now, I don't know if you've seen the Watermelon Saga. Do you know about this?
No, I've only seen. What's the picture on the train?
It's the picture. It's that. Yeah, but
I've seen that picture. Yeah,
the picture doesn't do it justice as to what happened. Yeah, it's tremendous. It's amazing. If we get to 500, I'm playing it. That's all I'm saying. That's the promise I'm making. Before we get there, though, Flex, something I do want to talk about as well, because quite interesting. I've been hearing all this stuff from Liverpool fans. Alexis McAllister, he's coming to Liverpool. It's a done deal. Don't even worry about it. It's a done deal.
Like Bellingham was.
Yeah. Well, maybe not so much. This comes from The Athletic. It was from Brighton's correspondent from The Athletic, saying that Alexis McAllister wants Champions League football if he leaves Brighton this summer. Liverpool and Manchester United are understood to be among the clubs interested in signing McAllister this summer transfer window. That's quite interesting, because if he wants Champions League football, does that rule Liverpool out if indeed we win that race?
Unless Newcastle's bums go and they slip out, there's still that. We're on the same level as points as them. They could slip out and Newcastle could come in. Liverpool could get in. But yeah, if that report's to be true, then obviously Liverpool, shouldn't be getting top four. Not on our watch anyway. Not instead of us. That's for sure. If we do our jobs, that is. And obviously they're going to play in about an hour and 10 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, I've said before, I'll definitely take Alexis McAllister, 100%. I'd definitely take Moise Caicedo, 100%. I'd definitely take Matoma, 100%. Now everyone's saying they'll take Ince. So this is just what Brighton do. They just unearth these players that you got to tell you what, I'd have him. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out if Liverpool don't get in it. Because that's a credible source. That's The Athletic.
Yep.
So that's how
that's
they
Brighton's
understand
correspondent as well. That's like close to the club, close to the agent. I think it's fair to say he's going to be going this summer. I think even De Zerbi had said it himself that we might lose McAllister, we might lose Caicedo.
What do you think of what Matt just said? Big up to you, Matt.
I don't see how McAllister is that much of a marked improvement on Sabitzer. I disagree. I think McAllister, when he was playing at the World Cup, and I know World Cup, small sample size, but the biggest compliment I could give him is he didn't look out of place in a World Cup winning side. And he was particularly in the final, dictating games, absolutely dictating games. Yesterday at the Emirates, he was sensational. Everyone was sensational, in fairness, for Brighton. The football they were playing, I thought, was staggering, honestly. Their build-up play, if Man City were doing that, we'd be waxing lyrical about them. It was that good, some of their build-up.
As Kevin says, I don't rate McAllister. What's the feeling on McAllister? We need to get a bit of poll out here. And not instead of Caicedo, because someone just said if you could choose between him and Caicedo, who would you choose? I would choose Caicedo.
I'll put a poll in the chat. But what I will say is the previous poll, which was should United sign Sabitzer permanently, has been up for 20 minutes. That's got 683 votes. We've been live for nearly 50 minutes. We've only got 450 likes. You make it make sense.
So more people have voted on what they think about Sabitzer than dropping us a like.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, 50 likes. We need 50 times that number by 10. You get Marcel Watermelon Saga, and it's the best thing ever. So that's all I'm saying. 50 likes away. But I'll put a poll in the chat. Should we sign McAllister?
Yeah, and not instead of Caicedo. Just what do you think of McAllister? Is he good? Is he bad? Well, obviously I know it's going to be yes or no, but Splashnet says I'd take McAllister in a heartbeat, but would prefer Caicedo. Yeah, that's me. That's me.
You think we need more of a Caicedo than a McAllister? Is that where you're sitting?
Yeah, because I think once we have better ball carriers and people who are press resistant and can evade challenges and get about the pitch and be strong on the ball, I think people like Bruno can get a bit more protection behind him and will dictate games a bit more. And again, we need 2 of those types. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to see Caicedo, but I think I've heard of some decent authority that that could be Chelsea bounds. Chelsea could be trying to get him. Don't be surprised. Yeah.
Thing is, I understand. Look, Chelsea got money, and I know the expectation is that they'll be back to closer to their usual selves. But I just think for players like that, Caicedo, I mean, Brighton are going to most likely be playing in Europe next season, right?
Of some sort, yeah.
Yeah. Just going to Chelsea at this point in time could be seen as a risk, could it not?
Yes. Of course it can, because it's unstable. They're at the beginning bit of trying to get some, well, not beginning bit, because Toboli would have been there a whole year now when it gets to that point. But they're at the early stages of trying to get some stability. You know what I mean? They're bringing in Pochettino. That's going to bring some stability, you would think. Then they need to trim their squad. They need to look at what they got. But think about if you think about it this way, I know people saying Chelsea got millions of players already, but think of it from this point of view. Kante has had his injury problems, and they know they can't trust him to that level.
Hey, Flex, would you still take Kante?
Yes, I would.
Oh man, you're crazy.
Because since he's come back from that injury, he's been fine. He's been playing everywhere. And he's been about it
since he's come back from that injury.
Yeah,
he's always injured.
I still have him. I love him. I just like his little peanut head in his little micro. I just like it. I just like him. Kante's wicked. Great spirit. Great guy.
He's a great player. But
4 sets of lungs. I'd still have him.
Well, he doesn't though. Because he's always there injured. 2 of the lungs are gone.
No, that's his knee. It's a different part of the body. Well, he's not aerobically unfit. He's still got 4 lungs.
It's the Kante thing. He's a great player, but no Flex.
Kante is wicked.
A lot of people saying you're a disgrace.
I don't care. I love Kante,
and it's accurate. Yeah, you are a disgrace.
Obviously,
I tell you what isn't a disgrace.
Just quickly, go on.
No, go on.
Just Kovacic is going to go.
Yeah, would you take him?
Absolutely easy tick. 100%, 1,000,000,000%. Yes, I
like Kovacic. I think he's a good player.
He's wicked. He is wicked. We actually need central midfielders where it ain't about goals and assists.
Kovacic or Rabiot?
Kovacic. All day. Kovacic is proper.
Was he got 1 year left in his contract? Kovacic?
I think so, yeah.
So Kovacic on a discount price or Rabiot on a free?
Then it's getting into mathematics. So obviously we want to say
that's the situation.
Yeah,
that's the situation we're in.
I would still go for the quality though. I want quality. Like Kovacic is Rabiot can't lace his boots. Kovacic is a proper player. Proper. Just now in the World Cup, he was just balling out with Modric just now. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. But Rabiot was in the World Cup final in an injured French side.
Yeah. He probably wouldn't even have got if our guy Kante, who I love so much, probably wouldn't have got a look in. But and Pogba, he wouldn't have played. But look, I'm not gonna say discredit Rabiot, because actually, with the connotations that go around him, someone just said there with his mum, pass. No, he's got a lot of connotations around him, and maybe that's the reason not to get him. I don't know, but I don't know enough about his personality. But he was playing well in the World Cup. I'm not going to take that away from him. But if you're going to ask me who I would prefer in terms of helping us dictate and control games in the Premier League, tried and tested, I'm going Kovacic all day.
The poll in the chat, which was should United sign McAllister, only been up for 5 minutes, already nearly 300 votes. 66% say yes, only 34% say no. Also, what isn't a disgrace is the likes. Flex, we hit the target. Over 500 likes, which means we can play the Marcel Watermelon Saga. Now, it is a saga. It's like 2.5 minutes, Flex, but it's worth it. Yeah? Okay. It's really worth it. And this is the first time Flex has seen this. Take a look.
Taste this right now.
Nah, I don't like watermelon.
I beg you. Listen, taste this.
He's begging. Nah, it's calm.
Nice.
The insistence.
You're gonna regret it.
Bro, the only reason it's alright, I'm not gonna regret it because I don't like it, so it's alright. Bro, this guy.
Yeah, but how many experiences have you had with
Look,
watermelon?
it's only because you've got like 20 of them and you can't get through it yourself, fam.
No. Why are you distracted from the point? You're in the goalpost. Listen, the goalpost here, there. Listen, taste one. How many experiences of watermelon have you had?
You can offer to one of these other training people.
Excuse me. Do you have watermelon?
No, thank you. I have my orange. But thank you.
Oh, look. Give me a review of it and then tell me.
Is it about to go off? It's
very juicy.
Oh my god. This is not a joke. This is not a joke.
Well, I'm not. I don't want watermelon. I'm fussy as well.
See?
Also, don't walk to Euston. Get the train.
really? Yeah.
Takes 30 seconds to train, 15-minute walk.
Okay. Thank you.
Here's the review. Personal review, bro.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Oh. Yeah, I don't.
Would you like one? Would you like it? You're missing out, bro.
I'm missing out, innit? It's alright. It's alright.
Sweet. It's sweet, innit? It's sweet.
One of the better watermelons I've ever
One of the
had.
better water. I beg you, please, bro.
Bruv, I've had watermelons in tropical countries, fam. Yeah, and I still didn't want it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, fam.
What tropical countries? That's the difference as well.
What do you mean? What's the difference as well, fam?
Look, there's difference in
What? Bruv, I could have a watermelon in bloody Guyana, fam, yeah, and it's gonna taste better than that, fam.
Marks and Spencer has cut these.
Nah. Bro, my one come off the tree, fam. What you telling me? Yeah. And even then, I don't matter, fam. I don't really like the texture. I don't. Yeah.
You're really just.
I don't like the texture. I'm like, why has it got seeds in it? I'd rather eat a mango or a pineapple.
Well, mango and pineapple are nice as well.
Yeah, there you go.
But
I just don't like melon or watermelon.
I beg you, try it.
Nah.
Just so you can at least say to everyone it's rubbish. At least that way you know.
Oh,
you know
this guy, fam,
Yes,
flipping
yeah.
it. Oh, you're an absolute disgrace to the teeth. Don't like it.
No. See, that's not eating. That's not what's called eating. You gotta eat it.
Mindfully, yeah.
I just remembered everything I don't like about watermelon, fam. Nah.
Oh, you got orange.
See, watermelon, yeah, tastes like it's diluted, fam. This.
He is one of a kind. One of a kind. Did I tell you that was so worth the 500 likes, yeah? That was, you couldn't see Flex during that. I saw him rocking around in his chair.
Honestly,
I beg you, man. I beg you.
Honestly, I wish all of you guys, we've got 1,100 people in here. I wish all 1,100 of you, yeah, and some of you probably already have, could meet Marcel in real life.
It's real.
Like this guy, like literally what you see. That's not an act or like, he is straight down the middle, this person, which is brilliant. He's an amazing,
I love it.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
Never.
But like, only he could do that. Like, honestly. And I'm not even that fond of watermelon as well. I can eat them, but I don't really enjoy them. They're just really watery. I prefer the yellow one. The yellow, is that honeydew?
Melon.
The yellow one. And then there's
Not for me.
But
not for me either.
Honestly, the way, but that's not eating it properly. You're not eating it properly.
Yeah.
What country? Depends what country.
I beg you, please. Give me. It's the best bit is when he gives it to that guy and he goes, "Give me a review," and he goes, "It's really juicy." Oh my god, it's juicy.
But then the guy goes one step up and says, "It's the best one I've ever had."
And the best one he's ever had.
Oh mate, honestly. Marcel, what a kid, what a guy. To finish off, Ahmed says, as much as I would like to see that Al-Thani win the bid, we survived the Glazers and still support the club. That's never going to change. Oh, absolutely. That's never going to change. We're always going to support Manchester United. King says, just showing some love. just showing some love, just showing some love. Love the channel as well. Bit of both. Using the word love to do both. I like that, Keegan. Big up. You're always showing the channel love as well, man. Big love to you. Really appreciate that. WJ Barrett, what's going on, bro? Just catching up. Did you see KG on with the madness on his channel? Man was calling out Asna celebs. Robbie got it. Love KG, man. Disgrace and cheat. And KG was just. He rang me yesterday. He's like,
contact.
Yeah, and you know what? He called me yesterday, and I missed his call. And when I went back and saw my phone, I knew what it would have been. I thought he would have been live and doing the Arsenal thing. And he rang me on the way back from the women's game. He's like, Flex, I'm going live as soon as I get in. It made his whole weekend. It literally means that much. I said to him, listen, bro, I know it's funny. And I did the thing on Robbie today on DR and cooked him a bit. But the City thing's real. Like, they could win this treble. We got to, because our licks could be coming if we don't win this FA Cup. Anyway, that's no doom and gloom right now. Ahmed says it's Arsenal's day to get the banner. Ahmed says only Marcel can bring in David De Gea into a conversation about watermelon. Exactly. Extreme skills. WJ Barrett says, what the hell in the substance is going on? I know.
Well, I can imagine if people just tuned into the live and saw Marcel eating watermelon on a train, they'd be like, what is going on here?
What's going on? Only this channel would you get that.
Yeah.
And Keegan says, Marcel like Smeagol.
Smeagol. It's a Lord of the Rings reference. I haven't seen it, but it's Gollum.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Smeagol. Never seen Lord of the Rings in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
But I have heard of
Gollum.
Who did you say?
Yeah,
I've heard.
Gollum.
I have heard of. Is that the guy with the white hair? The long. Oh no, Gollum's that weird looking thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's the man with the long white hair? I don't know.
Gandalf? Is that what you think?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen
name.
Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit either, but I know the people are.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So all of the Lord of the Rings people will probably be going angry now. But Nathan says, you guys see that new retro top that come out today? I'll be honest, they nearly got me. It is really nice. Obviously, it's retro. It's old school. Everyone will at this point say, don't give the Glazers your money and don't get it and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into what you should and shouldn't do. If you want to support the team in the way you want to support the team, do it. But you can get like replicas of those where you don't have to get it from there. Do you know what I'm saying? If they send me one, they send me one. Adidas, who knows? And I just want to big up the women's content we did yesterday, just before we finish, because I know you've probably said it many times, but I just think it was absolutely brilliant. Minna was talking to Mark Skinner. We covered that, and that was that for women's football. That was a domestic record and European record, I believe. It was Barcelona against Atletico Madrid was the current holders of the attendance. So to see 77,000 people in there, it was brilliant. And I was so surprised that not more Man United outlets covered it. Like, you had some of the biggest in the world, not a buzz, nothing. Like just a normal day. Our women are in the final, like for the first time ever. Like I didn't get that some people literally just didn't do anything. So that just goes to show that maybe not all people are interested, but we're interested. And we're going to keep improving the women's content that we do. And what I loved about yesterday, apart from that we lost, obviously that wasn't great, but in terms of like before the game and after the game, is seeing like so many like young aspiring girls in like they came there in their football kits. There was like girl teams that came as part of the club, or like there was like loads of dads with their daughters and mums with their daughters, etc. And they just like Chelsea and United, and you just thought like, I don't know, you just could see it in their eyes that like they were just really happy to be there, to say like, you know what, if I want to be a footballer, I actually can. Like at level as well, I can play at Wembley. Like it was brilliant. It was brilliant. So brilliant, good stuff. And I'm really proud of UV. Now, we're a small channel, we're growing. We can't do everything. We're stretched thin sometimes, but we try and do everything we can. And I'm glad that it's not about views. I don't care if only one person watched it. It was really important to do it. And all the comments you guys put was brilliant as well. So big up to that. I really appreciate that. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you for watching this evening. Marcel went a long time ago. If you're just joining and it says it's Owen and Marcel, I promise you Marcel was here. Just rewind it. You'll see what happened in Marcel's settings. And let's go and see what happens with the Foxes against Liverpool. I think Liverpool will get it done. I do. I'm still going to go with that they win all their games like I predicted they would. And we just still need to do our job. Just do our job. But it is nice being able to know we got our points in the bag and can just watch, Never know. They might drop. They might draw. Then we'd only need what? 1 win and 1 point, if that was the case. So,
yeah.
We'll see. Smash the like on the video. See you all again soon. Peace.